How it coming from? You already know who me is. Me is Brandonio Lamervei, son of the shrine, son of the gods, son of the gods. The fuck? Where's my mic ain't gonna stay put, bro? Cool. We like that. All right. So today, welcome to you all. Today we'll be doing a very special review. This is about some educative shit, like deep in it. And I've been watching this podcast called Fresh and Fit, and they've been really, really educative and helpful. And I see the way they're trying to educate the youth about a lot of things that are happening and a lot of reasons why men have been segregated from society. Like a lot of times it happens, but women don't understand it because the mentality of a man's world has been embedded in a woman so much that even when she understands a man, she still doesn't. I don't even know if that makes sense or not, but yeah. So I'm gonna listen to the podcast. We will listen to it together, and I'm gonna review it. I say what I think. I'm gonna purge through the video, those segments where there are punchlines, interesting topics to expatiate on, basically. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that every now and then so we can how can I say I could share how I feel basically because I really wish you all could tell me how you feel about it and maybe some of the things I say. A lot of times when you try to touch any topic that's got to do with women, people are quick to term you misogynistic. How they call it bullshit misogynistic, feminist, something like all of those things. But like people be quick to pour it on your head, but the women are very essential component to society, just like the man is. Like I hear the yin yang concept, and I really like it. So without a yin, there can't be a yang, but the yin has to understand the yang, and the yang has to understand the yin. Though we really, really are aware of the fact that they both cannot think alike, because the man is wired different and the woman is wired different. So yeah, I ain't even gonna say a lot. I just want it's an interesting video. You got Andrew Tate on it, and he's trying to school some of these young women who feel like the world's a better process and all of that. So yeah, it's Andrew Tate on Fresh and Fit podcast. Fresh and Fit podcast. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, we got Andrew Tate on it and a bunch of beautiful ladies, bro. Whew, shit. But generally, they so pretty with nine in the brain. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When you watch this podcast, bro, let's just jump in it. Let me quit babbling around. Let's jump in it.
I don't think most women can actually genuinely understand how lonely the majority of men are.
Yeah.
I agree,
And
Taylor.
you need to truly understand if you're Joe Schmo, average in nearly every way, in Starbucks working, you ain't getting a DM ever.
But what if they already have their wife?
You girls will never be lonely. As much as you might be unhappy with the possible suitors, you can at least fuck about and flirt if you feel sad.
Yeah.
There are men out here in the world
Mm.
who have genuine loneliness. And I can prove this statistically. Why do you think it's all the men killing themselves compared to the women?
But could we blame this on lack of communication?
No,
No.
no, we're gonna blame
Think
this.
that it's
Talking
No,
only
about-
no, no,
men?
no. I'm just saying to
I'm just asking. I'm just very curious.
the men,
Sorry.
the men
He's
with
telling you right now.
the men with absolutely zero partners. Do you know what they try? They certainly try communication. They're trying. You're just ignoring their DMs.
Thirsty.
Trust me, they're trying communication.
Yeah.
The reason is that we have to understand we live in a world now, and we've always lived in a world where women have a natural inclination to align themselves with the top tier males. I can prove this to you. You see these chicks, they see a rapper in the club. They want to fuck with the rapper. Do you think they believe that rapper is loyal?
No.
No, they don't give a fuck. He's the Don. That's the game. It's always been the game. It still is the game.
Facts.
So when we're talking about how it's
facts,
harder for men than women,
facts.
we're talking about the vast majority of men. Because you women, because you're all beautiful and you're all smart, most of you only interact with top tier males. So you're like, well, I have these problems, but he has all these bitches because he's a G. Most men ain't shit. You know that. If you think about it, most men ain't shit. Go walk down the high street. Tell me how many of them stand a chance with you. Usually fucking zero. Most men are desperately lonely. Desperately.
Yeah.
So you want to sit here and talk about the struggles of life as a woman. There are men out here. The male suicide rate is so many times higher than women for a reason.
Of course.
The life as an average man is it's brutally depressing. And I'll tell you something.
So let me really intercept this real quick and say something before we proceed. Like, and that's the beautiful thing about someone like Andrew Tate. I don't know if it's Tate or State or someone like, but the bro's a G and he punches like right on point, and that's something a lot of people don't like, you know, and that's why he's so hated, you know. As soon as you start preaching something that's very power to the truth, or like not power, basically something that's close to the truth, people start hating you, bro. Like people don't like the truth at all, because what he's saying here are facts, but these facts throughout, I could say, this newer generation, because these things have not always been like these. Like go back 70 years and all of that. This life has not always been like this. Women have always understood they have a role, and men have a role. A man is wired to protect, and a woman is wired to have to nurture. Together they form this very strong bond. I don't know if people are gonna say, but I'm just talking about men and women here for a fact. I'm not diversifying and getting into all of those things, but yeah. So what he's saying is this: a lot of men go unnoticed. Like that's the thing chicks don't even get. You know, I hang out with some chicks and they're like, I ain't got a man and this, all of those kind of things, and I'm like, what? How are there a lot of women who ain't got men and are seeking for men, and while there are a lot more men like there, a lot more men who don't have women and who are willing to hit anything, bro. Like you don't know the amount of men that are willing to hit anything. But women never turn to look that in the facts. They're always very short when it comes to analyzing. They're like, I don't have a man. The only reason a woman doesn't have a man is because she has standards. She has what she seeks. She has this bracket, this, how can I say? I almost said it's utopia or something like that. She has this fantasy world that has been built in her mind. She has the properties she really wants a man to have. When men don't have that, they direct. She cannot even pay attention to them. You know, but men are willing most of the times to go with the woman that's more of a woman. I don't even like for me though, we would want to bang the badass. Trust me, I bang the badass anytime. Married, divorced, singer, anytime there's a baddie, I'll bang it. What about when we talk about marriage? You know, been there, seen that, did that. I'm not even gonna talk about marriage right now, you know. So I'm just evaluating them. I'm just trying to analyze from that perspective. That a lot of things, a lot of men go unnoticed, but women don't even notice how many men go unnoticed, because they feel like they only see the men within the how can I say the fuck class, something like that. Let's just use that word. You know, where they want to bone, that's where they see. That's the men they see. Any other man that's lower than that, psychs, you know, or something above their class, you know, and then they're impressed and all that. But women tend to not see men who are below the class. That's a fact. So it makes a lot of men go under the radar and notice, and it's painful because, bro, being a man is hard. Trust me, bro. That shit sucks. But it's nice too, you know. You know, I wouldn't be a chick either. But yeah, let's go back to watching this. I just wanted to throw in something, you know, a little sign, you know.
Than women for a reason.
Of course.
The life as an average man is brutally depressing.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you something. I don't
sucks,
consider myself an average man.
It sucks.
I'm a very successful man, right? I have a few genetic gifts. I've worked very hard. I have financial, not gifts. I worked for them, right? I've got accolades. I've got everything, right? My life's great. But life as an average man, Joe Schmo, is literally fucking horrible. And I don't think most women understand this because you know what the biggest problem about being an average dude is?
What?
If you're an average dude and you work in KFC and you ain't shit and you get a chick, you know what the problem with that is? That means your chick fucks average dudes. Bam. So now everybody's competition.
Bam.
That motherfucker at McDonald's.
Why is everybody competition? Because you would have to stay within
what
your
if she's
standards.
in love
Can
with you
agree
and you're in
that?
love with her?
Because why would someone go above their standards or less than if they don't deserve that?
I'm going to tell you. When you're a big G, you're hard to replace.
Of course.
But if you're literally Joe Schmo, it's unfortunate, but it's true. You're relatively easy to replace.
But there are women in that. There's women who will take you and fully
complete. Okay, so let me change the paradigm so maybe you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
Please, my dear, of all the things I am, the last is narrow-minded. Please listen. If you have Joe Schmo and his chick.
What the fuck is Joe Schmo?
Joe Schmo gets 0 DMs a year and possibly 1 chick a year who might talk to him. His average ass chick, her inbox is still full.
Bam.
She still has unlimited options. Maybe they ain't great options, but she still has options. And this is the point. This is why men struggle in breakups more than women. How many times have you been with a guy and after the breakup, he's blowing up your phone? Do you know why? Because you can go out to the club the same day and get a new guy. Even though that guy was still a cool dude, he's going to be lonely for months now. That's why he's blowing up your phone. It is harder as a man. It's a harder game as a man from head to toe. It always has been. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. You women are the prize. Fantastic. Good. You're the one who can have the babies. Great thing. But when we're sitting here talking about, oh, it's hard as a chick, it is 1,000 times harder for men. And we're talking about G's of the game. If I were to sit here and send 100 DMs, right? I've got a few followers. I got
facts. Like, and that it boils down to that. It boils down to the ability to attract women. Like, it's extremely it's with the world we live in first, yeah. There's something we all have to understand. With the modernization of the world came a lot of, how can I say, a lot of flaws, a lot of it came with a lot of distortions to the norms of society. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to twist it. The modernization of the world kind of has made us all lost our way, you know what I mean? Because back in the day, we had our grandparents. So my pop was an average civil servant, making a couple of bucks, but he ended up getting married with a chick and made a couple of kids. Went an easy life, but he could do it. With the amount of bucks my pops made, you ain't even gonna take a chick out these days. Women now want a certain type of man, making a certain amount of money, doing this and that and that and that, and they think it makes it easier for us. In a society where a man has to wake up every day, work his ass off, try to meet up just to be a man, to meet up amongst his peers, the least place he would want to compete is with a woman, or the least thing a man would want is a woman that's, how can I say? You guys get the point anyways. So yeah, I really like what he's saying. That's basically what I'm trying to just drop. I enjoy what he's saying and it's sick.